On March 6th, in Italy, in only 24 hours, there were 49 deaths related to coronavirus, adding to the grand total of 197. On March 17, 11 days after, the number ascended to 1,809 dead. Between March 16 and 17, in only 24 hours, 2,000 persons were contaminated with the disease. Coronavirus starts slowly, but on its third week it spreads in a more aggressive way. Italy is the second most infected country in the world and would serve to illustrate American countries what could happen to them. We saw how China incinerated people alive and turned its people mad with quarantine. Yet what kind of strange things happen in Italy besides the exponential increase in their deaths in just a matter of hours? The video I'm about to show you is true, and I want you to have that in consideration when you see it. This is the video of an Italian man that has been retained in its home with his father and sister, and the three of them have coronavirus. They are not allowed to come out, but that is not what's strange. The man films the video in the same room where the body of her dead sister lies, and asks the government and Italian authorities to allow him to bury her. He has not been able to get the corpse out, which remains lying in the same bed where it died days ago. Here is the video.
Io sono costretto con tutto il dolore a combattere questa situazione. Io ho mia sorella nel letto, morta. Non so cosa devo fare. Non posso darle l'onoranza che merita, perché le istituzioni mi hanno abbandonato. Ho contattato chiunque, al momento non faccio nomi, nessuno mi ha saputo dare una risposta. Sto in attesa della risposta del Cutugno dal 118, perché ieri sera, sotto mia forzata volontà, l'ho fatta fare il tampone, perché non lo volevano fare. A me il tampone è stato negato. Hanno detto devono sapere prima se lei è infetta e poi magari lo fanno a me. Io mi sono messo in autoquarantena, oggi potrei andare dappertutto a diffondere il virus se ce l'ho, perché io a mia sorella, per tenerla in vita, gli ho fatto la respirazione bocca a bocca e nessuno se n'è fregato, nessuno, le istituzioni, nessuno sta chiamando.
Non posso darle l'onoranza che merita, perché le istituzioni...
Can you imagine the pain of seeing a decomposing body of your loved one every day and not be able to bury it? Last week there was a mutiny in a jail in Italy. It was one of such magnitude that even the prisoners escaped from their cells and climbed on the roofs of the prison to demand their freedom. Police chased them, but many of them managed to escape. The mutiny started because visits were prohibited in prison due to coronavirus, and the prisoners were enraged because of that. This creates two different questions. What will happen to the prisoners of third world countries such as Latin America, where they are locked in group prisons? And what will happen when the conditions of those prisons provoke inmate rebellion? The government and specialists talk about avoiding conglomerations. Schools are closed and people are working from home. Events are being cancelled, but the conditions of Latin American prisons, especially those in Mexico, are of overcrowding. The virus could spread itself rapidly amongst the inmates if some guard would catch the illness, and leaving them locked in with the virus spreading itself amongst the cells would be condemning them to death. What should be done in a case like that? Clearly, Italy doesn't know. Another alarming video is the one of the obituary. An obituary, for those who do not know, is a section in newspapers where defunct persons are enlisted or funerary messages are posted for citizens who have died. It is strange for people of our generation to buy physical newspapers and much less to check the obituary section. That thing appears to be a feature of a baby boomer generation or previous ones, who during this epidemic are more prone to die. In a town where someone presumably of that generation compared two obituaries, one from February 9 when coronavirus had not even arrived at Italy, and another one last week, when the coronavirus numbers were rising. This is the result.
Di come siamo messi. L'Eco di Bergamo, domenica 9 febbraio. Una pagina e un qualcosina. Andiamo invece a guardare l'Eco di Bergamo di oggi, venerdì 13 marzo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 e 10. Una semplice influenza. Grazie.
This individual uploads the video, presumably as an answer to those who believe coronavirus is nothing but a stationary flu. There are at least 2 rumors and 1 proven case of presidents or prime ministers with coronavirus, the 3 of them leaders of 3 powerful American nations. The first one is Trump, who was in contact with an infected person during a Republican rally. He and all his cabinet of people of around 70 years old, including the vice president, shook hands and talked to this infected person. One of the president's men even decided to self-quarantine. Still, nor the president or the vice president, both within the vulnerable demographic, have tested themselves for coronavirus and even stated they have no plans of doing so. Recently, Trump only said he would have to do it one day. What would happen with the US in the strange case that their president and vice president had coronavirus? The second case was Trudeau, whose wife was diagnosed with COVID. Both are in quarantine and no one knows how the minister directs the country from there. Even with his sick wife, Trudeau has decided not to test himself. The third one is Bolsonaro, of whom rumors are only known, and just like Trump, he refused to test himself at the beginning, for he also claimed coronavirus was only hysteria. He submitted himself to a test that gave a negative result, but these results were not trustworthy. That is why there still is a serious doubt of several doctors that he might have COVID-19. The Mexican president will continue with its tours throughout the country, and just like other leaders, he will only test himself if it is needed. Trump is also continuing his tour around the country and continuing his rally. Until now, the US is the country with most cases in America, with 10,442 confirmed cases, followed by Canada with 733 cases. Chile with 201 cases, of which 80 of these occurred during the last 24 hours, and Mexico with 82 cases. All these countries have locked their borders except Mexico, who has had a slow attitude about it, for until this weekend, while countries like France and Chile announced their lockup, Mexico continued to allow concerts and crowd gatherings during its Benito Juarez holiday, allowing millions of persons to congregate when the virus had already many infected. Learning from Italy, these numbers could change drastically in a matter of hours. What will happen to countries with weak economies such as Latin American ones? What will be the secondary consequences of the illness, like scarcity and mutiny, hysteria and death? The only known fact is that the most aggressive stage of the epidemic is arriving soon, possibly next week. This has been all for now. Good night.